What not to do when selling your house. Also, formerly homeless veterans living in squalor, what you get for $1 million in San Jose, and the housing inventory update. Let's get started. Lots of fun things going on here. All right, just real quick, wanted to show you this. What not to do when selling your house. Yeah. So understand that when you buy a house, you're looking at a lot of different houses. So when I sell a house for somebody, when I list a house, getting it ready to sell, I do a lot of things to get ready. But what's really important is adjusting your mindset to become more of a marketer. Because what you want is you want to be able to show your house off better than your competition, right? I mean, it kind of makes sense. Even though this market's kind of crazy and it's still houses are still selling really quickly, as long as they're positioned right and priced right, there's some things that you can do to make your house a little more valuable and more attractive to buyers. And this article is about what not to do when you sell your house. So, first of all, don't take your own photos. And I talk about this quite a bit. People, agents, use their iPhone, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what you're missing is a lot of different aspects, right? So I actually hire a professional photographer to come in and take high quality photos that really show not only brightness, but the depth of each room, their target each room, and they'll actually move stuff around to make it look more attractive and roomier, etc. So I go around with him and help him move stuff around so that it looks better staged and better for the eye of the photographer. When you do it on your iPhone, again, there's nothing wrong with it, but you're missing out on a lot of stuff. And having a second pair of eyeballs to help you take photographs really helps sell the house. So invest in a good photographer. Don't address your kitchen. Now, typically when I come into a house, I go through a different process of you can sell your house as is, completely turnkey, or completely wholesale. Sorry, as is, turnkey, or wholesale. Now, wholesale is you've neglected the house or it was a rental and you just don't want to take care of it. It's not been maintained very well. That's as is. That's more wholesale when I look at that, right? So I talk to investors, get an idea what they're willing to pay, and then we put it on the market. And typically we get more, but we're not going to get a premium price for a house that's been neglected. We're just not, right? And then there's the lived-in house. That's really as is. And that's when you live in a house and over time, you live there for 20, 25 years and you've done certain upgrades, but you haven't really made it look like a model home. That's as is. Again, you're not going to get premium pricing. You're going to get great pricing, but you're not going to get model home pricing. And then the turnkey is the model home where we take apart your kitchen and bathroom and floors and paint it right and make it look like a brand new model home. And a lot of times people don't want to do that because there's cost, time, energy, and a lot of dust that's going on in a house, and people typically live there. So I give the options. We have a project manager, we have contractors on staff. We can absolutely do that. But if your house is sitting there and it hasn't been touched up or cleaned up, especially your kitchen, your bathrooms, you can dress it up, make it look decent, but don't really mention it in your marketing. So you can take photos of it because you have to show the kitchen, but there's certain ways for us to dial that in. Don't emphasize the space and function, not the other way around. So again, every room has a purpose, right? It could be a hobby room. It could be an office. like this. This is technically a bedroom, but it's downstairs. What you want to do is emphasize and show the value of what each room can do, right? So you have a family room or not, or you have a living room, you have a kitchen or not, and you want to dress it up so it shows what that function is for that room. A lot of people just let it be, right? So when I come through and list a house for sale, I either bring in my stagers because it's completely empty, or I can bring in partial staging, get rid of old furniture and properly stage that house so that we can show what each room has the function for and make it look big and airy. Don't always keep your selling points in mind. Typically, we want to have 5 to 6 selling points in a house, and it's designed to, we create an avatar or your perfect buyer, and we sell to that buyer. Now, it could be like an engineer, it could be a family, it could be a couple, it could be a single person, however you want to do it, but we're going to sell to a certain person. And we want to develop things that would make them aha, right? And a lot of times, what I see in the marketing is it just goes to a general audience and it doesn't really sell out every little tiny good point of your house. It emphasizes the bad points, not the good points. For example, going back to the whole kitchen thing, I've had people where they remodeled their kitchen back in the 80s and they're like, well, we have to say that we remodeled our kitchen. Yeah, well, no, that was updated in the 80s, not remodeled. When you say remodeled, you want to say that it was updated or remodeled in the last 3 years with the current fashions and styles and everything that people are looking for. So keep that in mind. Focus goes back, don't focus. That goes back to photography and videography and the 360 and the drones, which we all do, right? I mean, I do that with all of my listings. But that's the reason why I have a photographer. That's what they do all day long. They go through 3, 4, 5 houses every day and take snapshots, and they know how to use it. And they have a very expensive camera, very expensive lens, very expensive tripod, and they know what they're doing. So they do the HDR and they do all that stuff. But obviously you want to focus on that. So just keep in mind that if you're going to do photos, make sure that they're focusing on the right part of the rooms. Don't show off your bathrooms. Now, I have a problem with bathrooms. As a matter of fact, when I put listings on the MLS, I don't like to put bathrooms in there because I mean, yeah, unless it's gorgeous and brand spanking new, not going to really emphasize your bathroom, right? Now, if it's brand spanking new and it looks gorgeous and it's a huge walk-in bathroom and ensuite and it has everything that you want that people are looking for, absolutely, we're going to do it. But I'm not going to take a picture of the shower and the toilet. Although I like to put the shower and toilets on REWTF on Facebook, I don't necessarily want to do that in my MLS photos because if it's a standard bathroom, yeah, I mean, nobody wants to look at a toilet unless it's REWTF. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can show this to you real quick. Yeah, I'm going to open this up real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Like, for example, this one right here. People share this with me and it's fun to do. Let me open that up for you. That's actually a toilet. So that's kind of the fun stuff that I do when I when I shoot photos. I like to see stuff like this. And if there's anything that's quirky about that, that's what I like to show off. So there you go. Okay, don't emphasize your outdoor space. Now, again, if it's completely barren and the landscape is dead, we're not going to take photos of it. I mean, we're going to have basic photos of it, but like if you have a pergola or a pool or a lounging area or a party area or a barbecue area, absolutely, we're going to take time to emphasize and show off that part of your house, that part of your home, the part of where you're enjoying living, because that's a selling point, right? A lot of people will ignore that. And for crime's sake, holiday pictures, Don't put holiday pictures in there. If you do Christmas, don't do Christmas trees. I sold a house in December and they had their entire house was completely decked out in Christmas. And it was gorgeous. It looked great. But I was like, you got to put everything in the garage and then we'll take pictures and then you can bring them back out. And they actually did it, but the house sold and it sold for a lot of money. So keep holiday pictures out, keep people out, keep dogs out. As much as I love dogs, I don't think selling a dog with a house doesn't really help, right? Because if you walk in, your house smells like dog, then you're going to have a problem. So there you go. What not to do when selling your house. So the next thing is we're talking about formerly homeless veterans living in squalor. This segment is brought to you by Noah Vet. This organization, I do a lot of volunteer work with them. And if you know a veteran that's struggling in any way, you can actually help them. You can take them to this site and they will help get them help, whether it's mental, drug abuse, financial, job search, what have you, homelessness. There's programs inside this site that help veterans get help. So if you know a vet, send them to this site. Formerly homeless veterans, and I feel like that was a commercial. Formerly homeless veterans in San Jose lives in squalor. There's this house that San Jose owns, and it's run by Santa Clara County, and it is just in horrible condition right now. I should go do a video walkthrough of this, but it looks like it's 8 single-story buildings on 4.25 acres. They bought it last November, and Swenson Builders, I think, is supposed to be managing this. But understand, this is a tough thing to see, and it's not just because they're veterans, right? Nobody should ever live in a place like this. This is disgusting, and it's hazardous to your health, and it's not helpful. But what's going on is the county's pointing fingers at Swenson's, and Swenson's pointing fingers at San Jose and all this other stuff, and nothing's getting done. And it's just not a safe place for these veterans to live in. So contact your council member, contact your county reps, and let them know that this isn't cool. Okay. I mean, these people, they deserve better, right? They deserve better. They deserve a place to feel safe, and you can't feel safe in a place like this, right? I mean, it's a fire hazard, everything. So if you're watching this, go to my blog. You can go to this link inside the blog, and then you can make comments there. But send your council members, and send the county rep, I don't know who it is, and say that this isn't cool. Yeah, there you go. Okay, what do you get for $1 million in San Jose? Now we have, I think 11. Oh no, there's more. There's 20 of them. But I wanted to look at Haga 316. This is not my listing, so please take a look at this. It's almost $1,050,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,152 square feet. It's like $900 per square foot, which is crazy. I remember like 5 years ago, we were like, holy cow, $1,000 a square foot. That's crazy, right? On market 6 days. It's built, it was 48 years old. Let's take a look at it. It's a cute little house. Again, don't do the box brownie. If that's a Twilight, I don't think that's a Twilight. That's a box brownie. What they do is they overlay in the back a night scene, and it makes it look like, yeah, I don't like that. But you see, look, see the grass there? Guys. Yeah, and the funny thing is, this house is going to sell. It's going to sell fast because look, it's nice and turnkey. They updated a lot, new floors, new windows, new lights, new paint. Let's take a look at the kitchen. It's almost like they flipped it. So it's an older kitchen, older style, but I like it. I like the natural wood. I like the granite. I'm a granite guy. I'm not a big fan of the plastic quartz. Just I have it in my house and it's okay. I don't feel like it's. I like this style a little bit better. I'm not big on the dark look because makes it look smaller. I have a did a listing appointment this last week, and it was original wood, and then they put countertops on top, and it was black granite, which I love, but the size of that kitchen made it look really small. So we're going to dress it up and kind of camouflage that. But I'm not going to go and spend $5,000, $6,000 on new counters. So looks like this house was sold, flipped out. So new bathroom. It's a nice looking house. It's a nice looking house. Taking a snapshot of that. Yeah. All right, there you go. That's what you get for $1 million in San Jose. Here's my blog. It's abitano.com. It'll take you right there. If you ever want to go search into it, please feel free to do that. I'm having an assistant help me with all this now. And today we're looking at the snapshots of San Jose. Inventory is still woefully low. If you look, we were an average of 265 last year, and now we're at that average is still, yeah, we're going to have to change that. So we're still about 160 on average. So we're way off. And I know that that's going to pop back up. So don't feel like, oh my God, the supply is down, it's going to pop up. Typically, people want to put houses on market in March, April, May. That's when our selling season is. And typically we see a lot more homes pop on the market then, and then the flood starts and people tend to activate there. So it's the same problem all the way down in all the different cities in Santa Clara. If you look over here, Cape Coral is still going higher and higher. They added 150 new listings last week. It's not that houses aren't selling. It's just, this is the season for them to sell. So you're going to see this number dwindle over time. Austin, nothing normal, out of the normal. Nashville, a little bit under, not super under. Even Las Vegas has less houses for sale. It's just, that's the time for people to not sell. So, I mean, look, Las Vegas has 2,500. We have 150 houses for sale. Granted, Las Vegas is a little bit larger, and it probably takes on all the outside cities as well, but it's still a lot more houses for sale there and Phoenix and Nashville than it is in San Jose. Even in Knoxville, 690, that's a tiny little town. Go Volunteers. But there you go. Okay. So today we talked about how not to sell your house, veterans living in squalor, what you get for $1 million in San Jose, and inventory snapshot. All right. I'm Vito with Abitano. Have a great weekend. We'll see you out there. Go Niners.